BTS news today. Seoul, that morning, was wrapped in the soft chill of autumn. The sky hung gray and low, but amidst the quiet hum of the waking city, one figure caught everyone's eyes. He walked with quiet determination. No heavy entourage, no flashy lights. Just a long black coat that almost swallowed his small frame, a gray beanie pulled low, and a white mask hiding half his face. Yet his stride, steady and sure, gave him away instantly. It was Jimin of BTS, the global star known for his grace and warmth, now walking alone through Seoul streets, as if running from something unseen, or perhaps towards something only he knew. Witnesses said Jimin was spotted around the Hanamdong district, an area well known for being home to top artists and private studios. He seemed focused, almost contemplative, occasionally glancing at the overcast sky above. But what drew even more attention wasn't his fame. It was the way he held something tightly in his small hand. The same delicate, expressive hands that have moved hearts on stage, that have told stories through dance, now clenched around something hidden in his pocket, something that seemed to carry the weight of deep meaning. The street Jimin walked that day wasn't just any street. Longtime fans recognized it. It was said to be a route he had taken many times in the past, back in the early days when BTS trained late into the night, walking from the practice room to their dorm under the dim Seoul streetlights. "I saw him there once in 2015, one fan wrote online. Back then, his steps were full of dreams. But seeing him now, his steps are heavier, yet stronger. You can feel the years he's carried. And strong truly seems to define that moment." Though Jimin is often described as soft-spoken, gentle, and kind, there's always been a quiet power behind him, a resilience hidden beneath his sweetness. Few know how demanding his past few months have been. Between music preparation, collaborations, and personal reflection, he's been navigating one of the most transformative times in his career. Yet, he remains grounded, as if walking a tightrope between the public's endless gaze and the fragile sanctuary of his own self. Industry insiders revealed that Jimin had recently wrapped up a series of private meetings with a production team rumored to be working on something deeply personal and emotional for early next year. While details remain a secret, one source described it as his most vulnerable creation yet. Not just a song, but a portrait of who he truly is. And perhaps, that morning in Seoul, he was simply absorbing it all. The weight of years, the sound of his own footsteps, the echoes of the boy he once was. The path he walked wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. A walk through memory, from practice rooms filled with laughter and exhaustion, to global stages that demanded perfection, to quiet hotel rooms after concerts where applause turned into silence. One passerby recalled a moment that made everyone pause. Jimin had stopped in front of a tiny flower shop. He stood there for a while, gazing at rows of white roses and blue hydrangeas swaying in the cool wind. Then, slowly, he removed his glove and brushed his fingers over a single petal. His small hand trembled slightly, not from the cold, but from something deeper. It was such a delicate gesture, and yet, it carried the weight of someone remembering something precious. Moments later, he crossed the street, his movements quick and light. A short, effortless run. Someone's phone camera captured that second, but most chose not to post it. Those who saw it in person said it felt sacred, like a silent message written in motion. There was no rush, no chase. Just Jimin, running softly, as if reminding himself that even when life feels heavy, he can still move forward with grace. A BY evening. Social media had exploded with the tag, #JiminInSeoul. Blurry photos surfaced of his silhouette under the streetlights. Yet, fans weren't focused on the pictures themselves, they were talking about his aura. "There's something in the way Jimin walked today," one fan tweeted. It looked like someone who's hurting, but refusing to give up. International fans quickly began interpreting the moment as a metaphor. They recalled Jimin's recent Vogue Korea interview, where he'd said, "I want to keep walking, even when I'm tired, because in every step I take, there are people who believe in me." That quote suddenly felt alive, breathing through his quiet walk that day. As the night deepened, speculation grew louder. Some fans theorized that Jimin had just come from a secret practice session with Jungkook, who was also spotted in another part of Seoul around the same time. Both were dressed similarly. casual, low profile, almost like mirror reflections of each other. The internet was quick to weave stories. Perhaps the two had met privately, maybe working on something together again. No one could confirm it, but longtime fans felt the same energy sync between them, the kind of silent bond that needs no words. What made this story even more stirring was the contrast it carried. On one hand, Jimin appeared fragile, almost weightless in his steps. On the other, there was undeniable strength in his presence, a courage to walk alone in a world that constantly watches, a bravery to protect the quiet things that still matter to him. One former BTS staff member once said, "Jimin's hands are small, but when he holds something, he holds it with his whole heart." That quote now rings truer than ever, because whatever he was holding in his pocket that day, be it a note, a phone, or a memory, it wasn't just an object. It was a symbol of all that he's endured and cherished. His hands may be small, but they've carried dreams, comforted others, and shaped the emotions of millions. As dusk fell over Seoul, witnesses spotted him again near the Han River. He sat quietly on a wooden bench, watching the water ripple under the soft orange light. From afar, someone saw him exhale deeply and smile. Just a small smile, but it felt like the kind that heals. The city seemed to slow down in that instant. There were no cameras, no crowd, just a man and his thoughts. Jimin, sitting by the water, a little tired, but still shining with quiet dignity. For ARMY, moments like this mean more than words. They're reminders that even idols, those who seem larger than life, are human. They have days where they must walk alone, searching for direction, nursing invisible wounds. Yet Jimin does it with beauty, turning solitude into poetry. His steps become symbols of resilience. His silence becomes music only hearts can hear. A few days later, during a brief radio appearance, a host casually asked him about that morning. Jimin chuckled softly and said, "Sometimes I just need to walk without a destination, to remember who I am." The studio went silent for a moment. He didn't elaborate further, but everyone understood. That was Jimin's way of healing, one quiet step at a time, guided by the rhythm of his own heart. The blurry photos from that day have now become almost legendary among fans. Not because of their clarity, but because of the emotions they hold. Jimin's strong walk, one fan account wrote, shows that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's the courage to stay gentle in a world that can be so harsh. And maybe that's the truth of Jimin. His small hands aren't a sign of weakness. They're symbols of warmth, tenderness, and perseverance. Those hands have led millions through his art, have comforted broken hearts through songs like Promise and Like Crazy, and now, in a simple morning walk, they remind the world once again that love and strength can coexist quietly. The next morning, Seoul woke to brighter skies. But for those who witnessed him that day, the image of Jimin walking strong down that quiet street would never fade. A soft, fleeting moment turned into a timeless story about strength, grace, and the small hands that can hold the world with love. And there he was, Jimin, standing between silence and light, looking forward with calm determination. The world may see him as a star, but that day, he was simply a human being walking. A little run, a deep breath, a small hand clutching something unseen, yet full of meaning, because that's who Jimin truly is, gentle, yet unbreakable. And in every step he takes, the world learns, once again, that real strength can be quiet and still utterly beautiful.